I am so excited to be here with you. I'm Laura Cooke. I'm so excited for the perspectives, the ideas, the stories from across the region that will inspire us to create more people-first workplaces in 2026 and beyond. The summit runs live across 24 hours globally, and all sessions are also recorded and available on demand. And remember, this is about connection, so please do share your thoughts and questions in the chat as we go. I am the co-founder and CEO at Positive Foundry. I spent 15 years of my career in leadership roles in 2 different businesses and 12 years leading an independent school in Columbus, Ohio, allowing me to balance my work and home life and 4 daughters in school. In 2017, my husband and I unknowingly quit our jobs on the exact same day. That's a story for another day. We started Positive Foundry. My purpose in life is to create generational change through teaching the skills that lead to joyful, meaningful living. We're focused right now on working with companies. At Positive Foundry, we have this fundamental belief that when individuals flourish, organizations flourish. We believe that when each of us shows up at our best to work, we're going to do our best work. And we want to help companies build the best teams possible while also helping the individual person live their best life, a life of meaning, well-being, joy, and success. I also run the Thrive Thursday series here for Inspiring Workplaces, which is another event that they put on by this amazing team. Our next one is November 13th, so make sure you sign up. But today I am going to talk to you about the new currency of leadership, helping people feel seen, heard, and valued. I'm going to propose that together we move beyond engagement and instead focus on flourishing, which is way more powerful than engagement, not only for the people, but also for the organization. Here's our agenda for our 25 minutes today. We're going to start with a quick well-being moment because we need those in our day. We're going to talk about connection as the next level to engagement, why helping people feel seen, heard, and valued leads to greater performance, the role of flourishing in our performance. I'll invite you to do a short reflection to give you an opportunity to pause and think. And then I'll share a little bit about our Better Yet program and its role in all of this. And lastly, I'm going to give you a concept that you might take away to practice. At the end, we'll do a short Q&A if there's time, but again, please use that chat. We start every meeting and every workshop at Positive Foundry with a few moments of well-being to purposely fit them into our day. I'm guessing some of you have been jumping from meeting to meeting today, so hopefully this is also a gift to you to arrive and be present. One of the reasons we do this is take a look at this slide. A dog walks into the forest thinking about the forest. A person walks into the forest thinking about everything but the forest. And this is exactly why dogs are happier than humans. We are the only species that can conjure up our past, present, and future all in the present moment. But it's a blessing and a curse. Mindfulness is an excellent well-being technique. And instead of practicing mindfulness, many of us are walking around with our minds full and not fully present together. So for today's mindful moment, we're going to use a practice called 4x4 or a box breathing. If you regularly do this, you're welcome to just tune me out and get some extra time to breathe. If you're new to it, I want to give you a brief explanation before we play an animation where we will all practice together. So this breathing technique is designed to calm our nervous system and decrease the stress in the body. It's frequently taught and used by professional athletes and elite special forces soldiers. And of course, it's becoming more and more popular by working professionals. You might want to think about your body position. If you're slumped, you might want to think about rolling your shoulders back a little bit, maybe uncrossing your legs, sitting up a little bit straighter. We want to try to get our breath all the way into our belly. And the way it's going to work is we will inhale for 4 seconds. We will hold our breath for 4 seconds. We will exhale for 4 seconds and hold empty at the bottom for 4 seconds. And if it's comfortable for you, you might think about inhaling through your nose and exhaling out of your mouth. It takes less than a minute, and we're just going to do 4 breaths. So let's use this animation to guide us. Here we go. How was that? If that was the weirdest thing you've done in a meeting or a webinar lately, thank you for playing along. I get it. But hopefully maybe you feel a little bit more calm or relaxed or a little bit more present. This is just your gentle reminder to find breaks in your day to give yourself a moment for that. It reduces stress and it's so good for you. I have a confession to make. For years, I truly believed that I cracked the code on stress management because I had a system. Color-coded inbox, productivity apps, 3 different to-do lists, one for my other to-do lists. I basically tried to Marie Kondo my anxiety. It looked organized. It didn't feel organized. And I kept beating myself up. Work harder, work faster. And I know many of you can relate, leaders who are doing everything right and still lying awake at 2 a.m. thinking, why does it feel so heavy? Today, I want to talk about a different approach, one that isn't about organizing chaos, but about changing what fuels us all together. Because the greatest leadership advantage today isn't efficiency or even engagement. It is connection. It is helping people feel seen, heard, and valued. That is the most important thing we can do. And the rest of it will fall into place: efficiency, results, higher performance, and a better culture. For decades, employee engagement has been our North Star, and it made sense because engaged employees are more productive, right? But really, engagement is just a handshake, and flourishing is like a heartbeat. Engaged employees show up, and flourishing employees light up. According to Gallup's 2025 State of the Global Workplace, only 21% of employees worldwide are engaged. It dropped 2 percentage points from the year before. But here's the real headline. Employees who say their well-being is supported are 4.4 times more likely to be engaged and to stay with their company. McKinsey and Company found the same pattern. Organizations that invest in belonging and mental health see 20 to 30% higher productivity and far stronger retention. So what if engagement isn't the finish line? What if it's the starting line? The new currency of leadership isn't compliance, it isn't efficiency, it's creating conditions where people feel seen, heard, and valued. That's what makes teams flourish: belonging, mental health, supporting well-being, giving people skills to flourish, and connection. I didn't always understand this. This is me with my family, but there was a season in my life when I was running fast in every direction. I was checking every box: career, family, achievement, and I was ignoring the quiet signal that was saying, you're running on empty. Until one day, my body decided it would get my attention for me. And let's just say if burnout were an Apple Watch metric, I would have been breaking records. And mine showed up in health issues that were manifested from stress and lack of sleep. And that moment forced me to ask better questions. What does success really mean if you can't enjoy it? What does leadership mean if it costs you your health? And how can you be a good leader when you aren't healthy? So I went searching. I studied positive psychology, neuroscience, well-being, and I discovered a plethora of information available that isn't reaching the general population. And that flourishing isn't a perk, it's a performance strategy. Because when well-being is part of the culture or the fabric of an organization, people show up better and work better together, and everything is easier and business results improve. People who flourish don't burn out less because they care less. They burn out less because they have the skills and they know how to recharge. They were taught skills to flourish and they practice them by taking care of themselves. And the benefit is they show up better to work. So let's unpack what flourishing really is. Harvard's Human Flourishing Program, which is part of the Harvard Institute for Quantitative Social Science, as an aside, it is hard to determine quantitative measures of people. So this is an amazing initiative. They have many longitudinal studies going where they're looking at people over their lifetime to measure them. Harvard defines flourishing as a state in which people experience positive emotion, meaning, purpose, and good relationships while functioning effectively in life. Globally, Gallup also measures world flourishing on a scale, looking at 5 elements: career well-being, social well-being, financial wellness, physical wellness, and community well-being. And only 1 in 4 adults is thriving in all 5. So 75% of people aren't flourishing. That's not a human problem. That's a leadership problem. McKinsey's 2023 Health Institute found that employees who flourish, who score high in well-being, are twice as likely to be innovative and 4 times more likely to stay longer. The bottom line, flourishing drives innovation, retention, and loyalty. And here's where it gets fascinating. Neuroscience shows that chronic stress literally shuts down our prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain that's responsible for innovation, creativity, learning, problem solving, and positive emotions. That's what stress shuts down. So let's do a quick activity together. So if it's comfortable for you, make a circle with your hand like this and bring that circle to your eye and focus on something that's further away from you. And you might close your eye to see what that does to your view. It narrows it. And if you take your other hand and you make another circle and you put it on top of that, you'll see it gets even smaller, even more narrow. And that is exactly how stress, burnout, not flourishing affects our brain. It's literally like blinders on our brain. We constrict our thinking, making it harder for us to see possibilities and problem solve. But when people feel safe, valued, and connected, the brain releases oxytocin, which increases trust and collaboration. And it's the exact opposite. It takes the blinders off the brain and we can see more possibilities, more innovative solutions, and we build better relationships from this place as well. Taking care of ourselves and encouraging our teams to flourish is good for everyone. And it's not small stuff. It's smart business. I recently talked with a senior leader at a global bank who said, Laura, I can get people to do their jobs. What I can't get them to do is care again. We dug into it and realized the issue wasn't motivation, it was meaning. No one was connecting their daily tasks to a sense of impact. And they were running so fast that they didn't take any time to think about it. So they started ending every team meeting with one question. What did we do that week that helped someone? Simple, 10 seconds, changed everything, because the moment people connect their work to their why, energy returns and they start to look for things to share in the meeting. So they change their focus from the stress and negativity towards looking for the positive moments in the midst of all the challenge. And Harvard Business Review found that employees who see purpose in their work are 5 times more likely to be engaged and 64% less likely to burn out. So flourishing isn't about big programs. It's about small moments of meaning and connection. Let's come back to these 3 words. Seen, heard, valued. When people feel seen, they believe they matter. When people feel heard, they believe they belong. And when people feel valued, they give their best effort. That's not sentiment, that's psychology. When we invest in our employees and we model the way by learning alongside them, it's like magic. Gallup's 2023 culture study showed that employees who strongly agree with the statement, my manager cares about me as a person, are roughly 3 times more likely to be engaged and 3 times more likely to produce higher quality work. Think about that. The most powerful engagement driver is not a bonus, it's a sentence. I care about you. A leader in a high-tech firm told me that she used to start one-on-ones with what's on your list. And now she starts with, how are you really doing? She says she's seen a marked increase in productivity and a reduction in turnover because she's connecting with her team, giving them a chance to feel seen and heard and showing that she values them. It's a simple step with powerful results. Recent Work Human research found that 40% of workers said their performance improves when they feel seen. Apparently, connection is contagious, but really we all know this, even on Zoom. When people feel safe enough to speak and valued enough to stretch, they bring ideas and they grow their capabilities, and that's how cultures transform, one conversation and one breakout room at a time. So let's pause for just a moment together. Think of someone in your organization who needs to feel seen right now. Maybe they're quiet in meetings, maybe they're overwhelmed, but they won't say so. Bring that person to mind and then ask yourself, what is one small thing I could say or do this week that would help them feel valued? I've got mine. Jot yours down if you want to remember it. This is really where flourishing starts. It's not with a budget line, it's with a moment of care. Harvard research calls these micro moments of connection. Even 15 seconds of genuine attention can measurably lower stress and increase trust. The science is clear. A leader's presence and connection are performance enhancing, and so is giving the team opportunities to connect and increase their well-being through learning and development. So how do we build this systemically? Flourishing doesn't happen by accident. It takes intentional leadership and skill building. I believe in this because I've seen it, I've experienced it. In fact, I believed in it so much, I created a company around it. That company, Positive Foundry, partners with organizations to turn the science of well-being into daily practice. We created a program called Better Yet. It's an easy to implement training system that helps all employees learn skills that boost well-being and positivity and strengthen workplace relationships in the process. The skills to flourish cover concepts like emotional intelligence, trust and psychological safety, resilience and mindset training, and communication that builds connection. Across industries, we've seen the same pattern. When people learn these skills, discretionary effort soars. They don't just show up to work, they show up better. It's designed to fit into the weekly rhythms with a 20 to 30-minute meeting. It follows the methodology on the left. There's a micro video with an opportunity to learn. There are guided questions for conversation that create connection. And then there's a tool or a technique to practice for the week that helps embed the learning. It is super easy to roll out, and it's led by your internal champions. It helps people feel seen, heard, and valued with great conversations about flourishing, and the learning and development extends far beyond the workday. And that's why we call it Better Yet. People are given the opportunity to learn and grow, and the result is better performance. So if this resonates with you, if you're thinking, our people need this, I'd love for you to visit our website, connect with me on LinkedIn, see how we can help your leaders. Because when you create a culture where people feel seen, heard, and valued, you don't just improve morale, you ignite momentum. Before we close, I want to leave you with one of the concepts we share in the program and something you might try to practice with the people that you care about to build a deeper connection. And this concept's called active constructive responding. First, I want you to think about, what does it mean to savor something? So bring to mind a food or a drink that you absolutely love. How would you savor it? What does it mean to savor? Savoring is really about making something last. So if it's a piece of chocolate, you might smell it first. You might put it in your mouth and let it melt. You want it to be there as long as possible. We can also savor a moment. Did you know that it's a lot easier to feel sad, frustrated, and mad than it is to feel happy and proud? Studies show that we are 2 times more likely to talk about something negative than to share something positive when we talk with another person. And when we share something negative, we spend 4 times as long sharing that news, and we quickly move away from positive news. So this technique is really about helping other people savor their good news. And it's a conversation game changer because we have so many other typical responses. There are 4 typical responses when someone shares good news with us, and only one of them lets people savor. The first reaction goes something like this. My friend calls and tells me he got a new car. I say, oh my gosh. He says, I got a new Honda minivan. And my response is, no way. I have a Honda minivan. I love it. It's amazing. Don't you love how the doors open and the CarPlay functions? I've always driven Hondas. They're great cars. We do this all the time. We think we're relating to another person, and we bring the story right back to us. We aren't letting them experience their positive moment for very long. Remember, it started with them telling you that they got a new car. The second typical reaction goes something like this, and this actually happened to me. I shared with a friend we were going to surprise our kids and go to Great Wolf Lodge, an indoor water park, and I was super excited because it was a surprise and they had never been. And my friend said to me, did you check the bed bug registry? I heard the one in Cincinnati has bed bugs. I shared something really positive and he slapped me across the face. You can share information like that, but maybe wait until after they've enjoyed and savored the moment. Like, it could be the timing that matters. And then the third reaction that we get quite often, my friend tells me, I'm so excited. I just got a promotion at work. And we say, oh, wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. Good for you. By the way, these are very positive comments, but those are conversation enders, and it gently deflates them because the moment is over very quickly. This brings us to the last and non-typical reaction, which is to let someone savor their good news. And it goes like this. I tell my friend that Chris and I are taking our kids out west on a road trip for a vacation, and they respond with, "Oh, wow, that's so fun. Where are you going? What will you do? Who's most excited? How long are you gone? Where will you eat? What are you looking forward to?" Asking question after question to let me live in that moment and savor the good until even I'm bored with the conversation and have nothing left to share. So again, the 4 quadrants and our reactions, we can make it all about us, we can ruin their experience, we can gently deflate them, or we can let them savor and help them feel seen, heard, and valued. And it's as simple as 3 words. The magic words are, tell me more. They're easy to remember. They help other people savor. It's as simple as you notice someone's sharing something good and you listen, and then you say, tell me more. We were in a workshop one time when we taught this concept, and a participant's daughter had texted her about something good that had happened at school. And she had responded with, "Good for you. I'm so proud of you." And at the break, she went back to that text and said, "Actually, Sarah, tell me more about what happened." Her daughter texted her 2 paragraphs of detail. And she said it was the longest text she'd ever received from her daughter about all of the good things that had happened. We miss this opportunity all the time to feel positive longer and to connect in a deeper way. So the magic words, tell me more. I want to challenge you to take some homework away from our session today. Seek out a coworker and say, tell me something good happening in your world. And when they respond, practice ACR by asking questions to let them savor their good news. If you can't think of any questions, simply say, tell me more, and see if you can help them feel seen, heard, and valued and live in that positive moment just a little bit longer. As you log off today, I hope you will remember this one line. When your people flourish, your business will flourish. What can you do today to show the people around you that they are seen, heard, and valued? And how can you give them the opportunity to flourish? It will make all the difference. I will answer any questions that are in the chat. I also included my email here. Feel free to reach out on LinkedIn or through that flourish@positivefoundry.com. And I also wanted to let you know that this quarter, we're actually giving away 3 sessions, one each month, to a team that wants to experience Better Yet teams. So if you're interested, just email flourish@positivefoundry.com and the subject line, put free session. Take care and be well, everyone. Thank you so much.